Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 5 to 8 English lesson on shades of meaning. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts. We're doing grade 5 to 8, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of shades of meaning. All right, so our chapter is shades of meaning. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade 5 to 8. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of shades of meaning is to describe the difference between related words, positive and negative connotation. All right. So when it comes to shades of meaning, some words we can say some words are alike. That is why we call it shades of meaning. They are like with like slight shades of different meaning. And the differences in, let's say, the differences in the meaning, we call that shades of meaning. All right. So once again, we said some words are alike. So you'll think that the word is the same, but they have small differences in meaning, or they have slight differences in meaning. And those differences in meaning, we call that shades of meaning. And if we look at a few examples, right, of shades of meaning, we have words like to stare, to peek, and to glare. So words to stare at something, to peek at something, or to glare at something. So if you look at all three of those words, yes, it means to look at something, but it's to look at something differently, or to look at something in different ways, or to look at someone in different ways. And if we look at the meaning of stare, to stare at someone or something. So if you're staring at someone or you're staring at something, right? So if you stare at someone or you stare at something, then it means that you are looking at something for a while. So it's to look at something for a while. It's like you're staring at this thing or staring at this person. If you look at word at the meaning of peek, to peek at something or to peek at someone, and to peek at something or someone is to look at something quickly. It's like peeking at something quickly. And then we have the word glare. When you're glaring at someone or you're glaring at something, then that is basically to look at something in an angry way. Yes, I peeked through the window. Like if you don't want someone to see you, you are like slightly opening the curtain or slightly opening the blinds and you are peeking through the window. because you don't want someone to see you. You staring at the chocolate, like wondering when is mom going to open it? When is mom going to offer me? Or when, you understand? So I stare at the chocolate. I stare at the chocolate cake. I'm staring at something. You're looking at something for a while. So if you look at all three of these words, which is stare, peek, and glare, right? All three of these words, they might seem as if the words are the same, but they have slight differences in meaning. Yes, all three of those words mean to look at something, but it is to look at something in different ways. When you stare at something or someone, you look at it for a while. Once you peek at something or someone, you look at it quickly. And once you glare at something or someone, you're looking at it in an angry way. Right? So this is what we call shades of meaning. It is where we have words that are like staring and peeking and glaring. These are words that are alike, but they have small differences in meaning, and we call that shades of meaning. Right? Then we have connotations. We have negative connotations and we have positive connotations. And when it comes to connotations, right? Yes, I glared at my brother as he ripped my drawing apart. Or even when he touched my stuff without my permission, it's like you are, oh, I can't do anything. But, you're pulling your face, your nose is getting bigger, you are sighing, you are glaring at him. Yes, well done. We're learning shades of meaning. And we said we have negative connotations and we have positive connotation. And when it comes to connotations, in connotations, we can say it is either a feeling Or connotations is the idea that goes along with a word or a phrase. That is connotations. So, connotations is the feeling or idea that goes along with a word or a phrase. And that is why we say we have negative connotations and we have positive connotations. And we're going to find out how we can identify a negative connotation and how we can identify a positive connotation. And some of the words, right, when it comes to connotations, are close in meaning, but they have different connotations. So the meanings are slightly, the same. They're close in meaning. However, one can maybe be positive and one can maybe be negative. And if we look at an example, right, it says, look at the word eager, right, and impatient. So let's say, for example, you want something and now it's like you're saying you're eagerly waiting to get this PS5 or you're eagerly waiting to get this new iPhone, right? It means that both of these words, eagerly as well, or eager as well as impatient, right? It means that you want something to happen. It's like you're looking forward to something and you want something to happen. However, eager as well as impatient, they have different connotations. One of the words are more of a positive connotation, and the other one is a negative connotation, meaning that the one means more of a positive wording to it, the other one is more like a negative wording to it. So if we look at the word eager, right? Eager is a positive connotation, or it has a positive connotation. And when we say it has a positive connotation, then I make the example of your parents said that you're going to get a PS5, you're going to get a new iPhone, you're going to get something new, right? So now you're eagerly waiting for that. You are cleaning the room, you are cleaning the yard, you are doing all your chores, you are studying, you're doing everything that your parents says that you need to do, right? So that is what you're doing in order to get it. So eager is like basically a nice way because you are patiently waiting for something. It just means that you're excited, you are happy, you can't wait for something, but in a patient or happy or excited way, right? That is eager. So that is a positive connotation. It's like telling your friends already, like, yo, I'm going to get this. Like, I can't wait, because my mom is going to buy me this, and I'm doing this and that, and I'm cleaning and I'm doing chores and I'm behaving. Then on the other hand, we have impatient, right? If your parent says that you're going to get like PS5, you're going to get an iPhone, these are just examples that I'm making. And then impatient. this again has a negative connotation, right? And when we say impatient as a negative connotation, it's not a nice word. Because if you are impatiently waiting for something, it means that you're often going to be demanding something. You're going to be so pushy. You're going to be like, why must I do chores? Why must I clean the yard? Why must I do this? Why must I do that? You're going to question a lot of things. Why? Because it's like you're just expecting something without putting in the work. It's like your mom says, no, I'm going to buy it, but she didn't give you a timeline, and now you're expecting it tomorrow, you're expecting it next week, you know. And usually when it comes to gifts, when gifts are being promised and there's no timeline, then the parents usually want to gift you something more when you're not expecting it, because then the excitement, the it's more it's you'll see it more compared to, oh no, you're gonna get it tomorrow. So you basically work towards getting that. So this is an example of positive connotation and negative connotation. So when it comes to positive and negative connotation, like we said, you have two words that are similar in meaning. However, one is a nice word, we call that a positive connotation, and one is a not so nice word, and we call that a negative connotation. And once again, connotations, right? It is a feeling or an idea that goes along with a word, or it goes with a phrase, whether it is positive or whether it is negative. And like we said, some of those words can be so close in meaning, but they have different connotations. One can mean something positive, one can mean something negative. All right. So this is basically what we call shades of meaning. We either have connotations, negative or positive connotations, where words are closely related to one another, but one can be positive and one can be negative. And then we also have shades of meanings, where words are alike, but they have small differences in meaning, right? And we made an example of staring, peeking, and glaring, right? All right. So before we go on to aplusstudents.ca, does everybody understand shades of meaning? Does everybody understand the different forms of connotations, like negative connotation as well as positive connotation? All right. So, does everybody understand connotations? Does everybody know the difference of shades of meanings before we go on to aplusstudents.ca? Do you want me to explain again what shades of meaning are, or do you want me again to go over what connotations are, or should we go on to A plus students? All right, so now we're going on to aplusstudents.ca, and we're going to describe differences between related words, right? And remember, we said that when it comes to differences between related words, then some of the words are alike. You might think that the words are the same, but they just have these slight differences in meanings, and we call those shades of meanings, right? Now, if we look at these words, right? It says, let's quickly look at activities and like three activities, and then we go on to a test. You need to say what is slower. Which one is slower? Is jogging slower or running slower? You see, if you run or you jog, it is basically words that are the same or similar, right? They are alike because both of those words, it means that you are moving. It's like a fast walk type of thing, right? But one is more slower than the other, or one is more faster than the other. So now, if we were to say which one is slower, do we say jogging is slower or running is slower? All right. And if we were to choose the word that that is more slower, the thing that is more slower, then we can say jogging. Jogging is way more slower than running. But if you look at both of those words, jogging and running, right? Then those are basically words that are similar to one another because it's also in the form of running. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm going for a run," but one is jogging and the one is like on a running more on a fast pace. All right, so which one is smaller? Which one is smaller? Is it taking a sip smaller or taking a gulp? Which one is smaller? If you were to take a sip of your cool drink or of your soda, or if you take a gulp of your soda. So a sip or a gulp. All right. And if we were to choose the one that is smaller, then taking a sip is smaller, taking sip, sip, sip. you know, instead of a gulp. A gulp is like you can take one sip and everything is up. Well done. So both, so now if you look at both of those words, right? Taking a sip or gulping, both of those words is to do with drinking something, whether it is water, whether it's soda, whether it is drinking, whatever. But both means or it is to do with drinking something. It's just that one is like saying you're taking a smaller sip, like a drink of something, and the other one is gulping, and that we call shades of meaning, right? It's like swallowing liquid, but one is more of a sip and the other one is a gulp. Sip is smaller. Which one is bigger? Which one is bigger? Do we say a pebble is bigger? A pebble, or do we say a boulder is bigger? A pebble or a boulder is bigger. We need to say which one is bigger. And if we were to say which one is bigger, then yes, we can say a boulder, or a boulder is bigger, because a boulder is a large rock, whereas a pebble is like a small little rock or smooth stone or something that you can say, right? So if you look at both of those words, and both of those words is to do with a rock, right? One is just bigger and the other one is like a small and smooth, like a, it's basically like a stone. So well done. All right, so now we're going on to our test where we are going to look at shades of meaning and we're going to describe the difference between related words. All right, and the first one says, which one is man made? Meaning that man made it. Which one is man made? A canal or a river? Which one is man made? A canal or a river? One of it is natural and one of it is man made. So we need to identify the one that is man made. So man made, a canal, or a river. All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, then we will say a canal is man made, a river is natural. Rivers and streams are natural. Well done. A canal is correct. Which one is bigger? Do we say a pebble, option one, is bigger, or a boulder, option two, is bigger? We need to say which one is bigger. And if we were to identify the word that is bigger, then we can say a boulder. Both of these words are similar, however, there are slight differences in meaning. Well done. A boulder is bigger. Which is less official? Less official. Decreeing something or saying something. It's not that official. It is decreeing something or saying something. So decreeing something or or saying something. One that is less official. Less official. And if we were to choose the correct option that is less official, then we can say just saying something is less official because I can tell you, you know what, I'm going to give you $10,000, right? I can tell you that I'm going to give you $10,000 or butter me an X amount and I will give you it back. That is just saying it. But if I decree, I declare, it is written, it is in writing, then it is more official. But saying something is just, you're just saying something randomly, right? So saying something is less official. Well done. All right. So now we're going to positive connotation and negative connotation. And remember, we said with positive and negative connotation is basically words that goes along with another word where two of the words might have different slight they'll be slightly close in meaning, but there's a difference when it comes to the connotation. One can be positive and one can be negative. All right, so now we're going to our test. We need to say which phrase has a more negative connotation, a not so nice word, a negative connotation. Is it option one, disagree about something, or argue about something? Because remember, if we are disagreeing about something, if we are not seeing eye to eye, but then one of that words are the same. One can be disagreeing, one can be arguing. Which one is more negative? Is it to disagree about something or to argue about something? And if we were to choose the one that has more of a negative connotation, then we can say arguing about something. Because remember, in life, you are going to disagree about something. Even when you're doing debating, we agree about something and we disagree about something, right? But it means that do we break up our friendship? Do we break up? No, right? So we disagree about something. It's just that we have different views, but arguing about something is totally different. Arguing is more like you guys are not angry because you strongly believe in this and nobody can tell you something else. So arguing is more of a negative connotation than just disagreeing. Which phrase has a more negative connotation? Is it an excuse or a reason? An excuse or a reason. So, an excuse or a reason. Which one has a negative connotation? And if we were to choose the phrase that has a negative connotation, then an excuse is more of a negative connotation because you don't have an actual reason. It's just like, oh, you're coming up with excuses, which means that excuses are more like lies, right? All right, let's look at the last one. Well done. Which phrase has more of a negative connotation? Is it feeling full or feeling stuffed? It has more negative connotation, feeling full or feeling stuffed. If you look at both of those words means that you have eaten a lot, right? But now, is it feeling full or feeling stuffed? A negative connotation. Which one is correct? All right. And if we were to choose the correct option, then we can say that feeling stuffed is a negative connotation because now it means that you've overeaten, right? If you're full, then it's fine because I've had my plate of food and I'm full. But feeling stuffed, it means that you basically you overfed yourself, right? So that is more negative. Well done, everybody. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on shades of meaning. We said that when it comes to shades of meaning, and then we have words that are more similar or alike. However, they have slight differences in meaning, and we call that shades of meanings. We also have words that are more negative as well as positive connotation. Words that are also similar in meaning. However, one can be negative and one can be positive. We call that connotations, right? So, this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. I really hope that you have a way better idea of what shades of meanings are. So you should have a good weekend further. Goodbye. And happy anniversary to your parents. We pray for many, many, many more blessings and lots of love for your parents on the anniversary tomorrow. I hope they're going to enjoy. Goodbye, everybody.